Imagine this. You have $106 left in your entire bank account. You don't have a home. Some nights, you sleep at the bus station because you have nowhere else to go. And to survive, you just sold your own dog for $25 because you couldn't afford to feed him anymore. Now imagine, 3 years later, that same man is holding an Oscar nomination and a check for over $1 million. This isn't fiction. This is the real story of a man named Sylvester Stallone. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at rejection the same way again. Long before the world knew his name, Stallone was just another face trying to survive in New York City. He wanted to act. He believed, deep down, that he had something to offer. But nobody else believed it. Casting directors looked at him and saw problems, not potential. His slightly slurred speech from a birth complication, his rough looks, his lack of connections. Door after door closed on him. He auditioned again and again. Some accounts say he faced over 1,500 rejections. 1,500 times. Someone looked at him and said, "You're not what we're looking for." Let that number sit with you for a second. 1,500. Most people quit after the 10th no. Stallone kept walking back in. By this point, life had stripped him down to almost nothing. He was broke. Truly broke. He had a wife to support and barely any income. And then came the moment that would break most people completely. He had to sell his own dog, Butkus, to a stranger outside a liquor store, simply because he could no longer afford dog food. Witnesses say he stood there afterward and cried on the sidewalk. This wasn't a story about a man chasing fame for fun. This was a man standing at the very bottom, with nothing left to lose, and somehow still refusing to let go of the one thing he had, an idea. That idea came one night after Stallone watched a boxing match between Muhammad Ali and an unknown underdog fighter named Chuck Wepner, who, against all odds, stayed standing for nearly the entire fight. Something about that unknown fighter refusing to fall struck a chord in Stallone. He went home that same night and, in an intense burst of inspiration, wrote the first draft of a script in less than 4 days. He called it Rocky. He believed in that script the way most people never believe in anything in their entire lives. Producers were interested, but not in Stallone. They wanted to buy his script for a large sum of money on one condition. Someone else, a real star, would play the lead role. Not him. Here's where most people would have said yes immediately. He was broke. He just sold his dog. His family needed money. Any sane advice would tell you, take the deal. Take the money. Survive. Stallone said no. He said the story meant nothing to him if he wasn't the one who got to bring it to life. Eventually, the producers agreed to let him star in it, but for a fraction of what they originally offered. He accepted anyway. Rocky was released in 1976. It didn't just do well, it became one of the most beloved underdog stories in film history. It won the Academy Award for Best Picture. Stallone himself received nominations for Best Actor and Best Original Screenplay, an achievement almost no first-time writer-actor had accomplished before him. The man who once slept at a bus station and sold his own dog to survive was now standing on one of the biggest stages in the world. And here's the detail that makes this story unforgettable. He later found the man who bought his dog and paid him back generously just to get Butkus home again. Some say he even gave the man a small role in a later film as a thank you. Here's what nobody tells you about stories like this. It was never really about talent. There were plenty of talented actors in New York at that time. It was about a decision Stallone made in the middle of complete hopelessness. The decision to protect the one thing that was truly his, even when everyone around him said it wasn't worth protecting. Rejection didn't make him smaller. Poverty didn't make him give up his belief. The lowest point of his life became the exact place where his biggest turning point was born. So the next time life pushes you down, the next time you feel like you have nothing left, remember this. The man behind one of the greatest comeback stories in film history once had nothing but $106 and an idea nobody believed in. Your current situation is not your final story. If this touched you today, hit subscribe. This channel is built for people who refuse to quit. Comment below. What's one thing in your life you still believe in, even when no one else does? I'll see you in the next one.